All right, Tim, 3.440. All right, welcome everybody. We're live streaming here at Lane's Raceway 1RC action on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Tim Hall already turning a 3.440 here in our standard class. That's any 8700 motor or gear ratio in the back in the late model class here. And also run the soft tires and hard tires in combination within the late model class here. Blake Panels up next here in his purple 96. And Jamie Fulcher brought us in some fresh stickers today to go on the cars when they win an A main or a B main. And kind of like skull and crossbones or, little winning stickers to go on your car. All right, Blake, a 3.430. Tick, could we change the music, please? We change music. Deegan Lee and David Lee going to be up in here. John says, hey guys. Hey, John. I'm hoping my headset batteries last year. This thing was on charge, but it's showing like my batteries died. So I put a new battery in on my headset, but it should be charged. And look at it. There's no charge to it. Yeah, just change the music. No. This Saturday is going to be our banquet for our 1RC and our slot car series for the wintertime. Guys coming in here, we're going to have Subway sandwiches, Subway cookies, of course sponsored there by Subway of Livermore, Kentucky. We appreciate them being next door, 270-278-5999. When you're here at Lane's Raceway, we appreciate it if you'd support them because they're supporting us. Get you a sub sandwich. We're seeing David Lee, or Deegan Lee here. Richie Austin, good evening, Dirt Track fans. Good evening, Richie. Here comes Deegan in the green and blue ride. Richie's on. All right, man. So I tried uncheck marking the require all transponders or whatever, multiple transponders, but still having the same issue of these guys getting in and it's doing this. I don't know how to solve it. Gonna have to get on the phone or something. There was a couple guys came down from Rio, and if they get freed up, they're gonna try to help us out here getting it to where that we can have just one transponder for multiple classes. But I thought maybe that would fix it. It didn't fix it, but it was worth a shot anyhow. All right, Deegan, a 3.980. Up next is Garrett Burton. Of course, you're seeing two for Deegan Lee there. One of them's got 0 laps, but the other one has 5. That's where I had to enter him into here from the other dirt late model class. For some reason or another, it just, I don't know. I don't know how to solve that issue. All right, Garrett, a 3.750. right, here comes David Lee in the opposite color scheme with Deegan, blue and green car. All right, David Lee, 4.160. Next up, Dirt Late Model Beginner, Jamie Fulcher, Bones, Blake Panel, Tim Hall, David Lee, and Deegan Lee. This one's beginner, the breakout class. No, that's standard class. You should be in here. Let me check. Yeah, I got you in there, check mark. Just run your car under there, Jeff. I don't know what's going on with this software, but it's you can see right there. I got you in. What I got you, David, is one standard, one beginner, and one open. So Jeff, you, Deegan, and David are just gonna have to run your cards under it. I don't know why the software didn't pick you up. Okay, let me go. So you're not in standard? Okay. All right, I uncheck marked you. Guys, hang on. I haven't even started that yet. Good practice. All right, here it goes. You're going to have to run your car in there, and then I'll put you in. I don't know why I didn't put you in. For some reason or another, it just didn't put you in. All right, Bones 3.820, Tim 3.830. And for some reason or another, it didn't put Jeff in there, so we're going to get him in there. All right, Jeff, a 4.330. 4.330. All right, Blake, a 3.950. Next up, we see Jamie Fulcher here. Jamie's been getting progressively better in this class than others. And he's pretty smooth there with a 3.910 right out of the gate. Now into the eights. All right, Jamie, a 3.850. Bones, you're going to have the fastest qualifying time of a 3.820. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's not, but y'all just have to put him in. Sorry, we still got Deegan and Dave and Lee coming to run in the beginner class. We'll check something here in the schedule here. So see, Jeff is in it, which is oh, Jamie, David, Garrett, Blake. He ain't got a transponder. No, it's not picking up. It's fine. Get her. You can get her in there. You got plenty of time. We're gonna go ahead and red flag this for a little bit while they get their transponder put in. right, now we're back over here with Deegan. He should have a transponder now. We'll get him entered in. All right, Deegan Lee, a 4.240. You got one in this too, right? Not in the beginner? Okay. Okay. I need to. So I have you as in the beginner. So I'm going to uncheck you. That's this one. The box stock is this class. Standard. We'll put this one in it, and I'll pull you out of that one. So right now, Dave and Lee is going to get his car ready to go. We're going to red flag it here to give him enough time to do it. He ended up qualifying in the standard class, thinking it was the box stock class. The box stock class is what we call the beginner class, 3.9 breakout. So he needs to be in this class instead of the other one. Tell you, when you get a second, bring that paperwork over here too. The one for the races, yeah. Come over here real quick. You got 3 laps. Wait till he runs this, and then we're going to go over some stuff, okay? Make sure everything's on the up and up. All right, Dave and Lee, a 4.200. Bones, you're going to have the fastest lap time of a 3.820. All right, guys, next up, Super Dirt Late Model. Blake Panel, Garrett Burden, Dave and Lee, Jamie Fulcher. All right, let's go over these. So Garrett got 3, right? Okay. Jamie, 3. Brad, 2. Tim, 4. Davin, 2. Yeah. Deegan, 2. Got it? Okay. Jeff, 3. Huh? Okay. And Blake, 4. Got it? What? They're all right. Eh. Jamie Fulcher going over there. He's in the super late model. 10 minutes qualified. Now this one's the super. All right, David Lee, a 3.410. A little faster. Here comes Blake Panel and his 96. All right, Blake Panel, a 3.180 with one flip. We got Jamie Fulcher getting in here. Number 13, purple, black, and silver looking car. We got a fast car on our hands here. He's got this car handling, folks. All right, Jamie Fulcher, 3.170. I think it was your third lap. Was it second? Garrett Burton up next. Garrett Burton, another fast car here. And that's going to be our fastest time right there so far. All right, Garrett, a 3.050. Almost in the twos there. Next up, Dirt Street Stock, 10 minutes qualified. Tim Hall, Garrett Burden, Jamie Fulcher, Blake Panel, Bones. You're in that too, Jeff. You're in that one too. You'll have to run through. I don't know what's going on here. All right, Jamie Fulcher, 4.031. Next up, Tim Hall. All right, Tim Hall, 3.580. Next up is Bones, also known as Brad Gregory. He's got a flip here, 2 laps right now, 4.190. All right, Bones, 3.790. Next up, we got Jeff McMahon. For some reason or another, the software did not let him in. So, all right, Jeff, a 4.60. Next up is Blake Panel. Blake Panel's car extremely smooth sounding. All right, Blake, a 3.780. Couldn't even hardly hear that car running. Next up is Garrett Burden in the 5 yellow and black street stock. All right, Garrett, 3.960. Has everybody that's in this race ran? All right. We'll take that as a yes. Okay, I got to find out. Out of David is beginner, super. So, okay. Standard, beginner, Deegan. So we need to take David out of this. And Deegan. So David and David. All right, good to go. And we are in our heat races now. Beginner, asphalt, and dirt. Street stock. All right. Looking good. I think everything's right. All right, guys, up first, Dirt Late Model Standard, Heat 1 of 1. Tim Hogg, Garrett Burden, Blake Panel, Deegan Lee. Yep. Standard is the non-breakout class, guys. Any 8700 motor or rear end in it. Hello, Bones.
Got the file. Jamie sent me the file.
Did he?
Yeah. Because I seen him online on Facebook. I thought, wait a minute, he's probably got that file. So, and it's the one
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. So I should be burning the screens tomorrow. I might have them done Friday. If I do, and if I don't have to go to the backyard and brush it, I'll bring them Friday.
Okay.
But the end of this week's kind of sketchy because I don't know what I'm doing because my wife hadn't told me.
Yeah. Well, just whatever you get them,
All
it'll
right.
be fine. All right, guys, it's a 30 lap heat race. Listen for the tone. Three or four cars here wrecked on the front stretch there. Right now, Garrett Burden in the lead, followed by Blake Panel. Tim Hall there in third position. Garrett Burden running pretty smooth there, mid section of the racetrack there. As him and Deegan Lee both get involved in an incident there. Deegan's back up and running. Tim Hall, Blake, and Garrett all on the same lap. Now see Garrett Burden back in the lead there after that wreck. Tim Hall second, Blake Panel third. 12 laps to go. We see Deegan and Blake Panel bouncing back and forth off of each other. Deegan is loving it right now. Deegan's got him a nice little 32 car. Red flag! Tim, you broke out right there. Yeah, you need to roll around to where Blake's at, or Garrett's at. All right, guys, y'all ready? Give each other room, y'all. I know the tape's a little close up on the track. Here we go, guys. And Garrett Burden's car flipped on the backstretch there. Narrowly missing some couple cars getting him. Tim Hall now in the lead. Garrett Burden second. As they see Blake Panel's car coming off. 3 laps to go. Blake Panel and Garrett Burden involved in an incident. 1 lap. Tim Hall, congratulations. Second place, Garrett Burden. Blake Panel third. Deegan Lee fourth. All right, guys, up next will be Dirt Late Model Beginner. 1 of 2 heats. Deegan Lee, Jeff McMahon, David Lee. So, guys, I want to bring your attention to something here real quick. Special thanks right now while we're waiting on our racers here to Livermore Subway here right next door to us. They help with slot car racing RC. We're going to have a banquet with them. They're going to get their sandwiches and stuff set up. But coming up here May the 30th, let me see if I can get my phone right up there on it. I'm going to try to block the number there. Rio Raceway Hog Fest, May 30th. Doors open at 12. Racing starts at 6:30 p.m. Let me get a little bit closer for the classes here. I don't know if that's going to. Well, I guess I could read the classes to you. So classes will be stock asphalt late model, lipo asphalt late model, stock dirt late model, lipo late model, pro supermods, kids class, and that is at Rio Racetrack and Hobby Shop, 1515 IN/161, Rockport, Indiana. So if you're looking to get in that, the race entries, first class is 20, second class 10, each additional class $5. So definitely look them up, give them a call, and get in that race coming up the 20th. Cody Bickle, he's the guy that's putting it on. He says he'll be cooking Boston butts, even better. Good barbecue sandwiches and everything else. So definitely go down there and check them out, guys. I'm going to get us back over here to the race. All right, Deegan Lee, Jeff McMahon, David Lee. Listen for the tone. Right now, David Lee in the lead, Jeff McMahon in second, and Deegan Lee in third is, oh, got a little cross under there. It's going to break it out second time. Looks like we might have a car switch off on the car or a strip gear. Something's going on. Blake will take a look at it. Battery's dead, he says. So this happens. Sometimes they run out of fuel. Just ask Garrett Burden. He was about 8 or 9 laps ahead of Tim on one of the uh, sprint car races. And Tim all thought, but it was over. I said, well, they got to finish, you know. And next thing you know, his battery ran out. And when it did, Tim ended up making the required 7 laps, ended up passing him. I'll never forget it. So batteries are an issue for sure. That is the fuel for these cars. But right now, David Lee doing pretty good. He's a few laps ahead of the guys here. Jeff McMahon there in second and Deegan Lee there in third right now. Fastest time has been put up actually by Deegan Lee of a 4.050. Now Deegan Lee, he's in the green car there. And Deegan Lee and his dad, David Lee, both similar cars. Deegan, of course, there with the green, and David with the blue. Better distinguished, but we got 1 lap left to go, and it looks like David Lee is going to bring this home. All right, congratulations, David Lee. Jeff McMahon second, Deegan Lee third. Next up is going to be Dirt Late Model Beginner Heat 2 of 2. Jamie Fulcher, Tim Hall, Bones, Blake Panel. Michael Howe, good evening, Lanes Raceway. Good evening, Michael. Did you end up going to your slot car track this weekend and getting in a race, or did you just help them track marshal? Right now we got Bones and Tim Hall lined up ready to go. I need to get out there and get the white lines painted back on the track here for this series. We'll definitely get that going before we start our series in a couple weeks. Now this coming Saturday is our banquet for the racers, and the next Sunday, we'll start our new series for slot car racing, and the next Tuesday after that, we'll start our series street stock for RC. Guys, we're going to need some track marshals. T, can you help track marshal, please? Here comes Dave and Lee. All right, guys, listen for the tone. And out of the gate, the number 13, Jamie Fulcher, side by side with Tim Halls. He gets in with Tim, and Tim gets the flip on here. Tight, 3 wide here coming into turn 4. A little swapping back and forth as Bones gets hit by Jamie Fulcher. Now Tim Hall going backwards on the track here. We'll see if it's going to count a lap here. He got broke out both times, so he's good. And we see Jamie Fulcher now on his side. Blake Panel currently in the lead. Jamie Fulcher second, Bones third, and Tim Hall fourth right now. 21 laps left to go. Best lap time turned by Tim Hall, 3.930. So given enough time, he might be able to find that groove and catch up with these guys, as he's only a lap down from Blake and Jamie. And Blake and Jamie side by side there coming into out of turn 4. Blake right on his backside pulling a draft as he pulls the left bottom coming into turn 4. Now turn 2, both of them slapping into each other. And Blake now taking over the lead from Jamie Fulcher. But Jamie Fulcher now finding his groove, holding that low side there. Low side definitely a defensive side here at Lanes Raceway. As Blake makes the pass on Bones on the inside as they both come into traffic here. Jamie Fulcher going high, swapping back down low as he takes the low side. Bones to the middle. And here comes Tim Hall. His car currently the fastest at 3.930 fast lap time. Jamie Fulcher gets spun out in turn 1. 6 laps left to go in this heat race. Right now, Blake Panel in the lead by a lap, it looks like. Tim Hall currently in second position as he's making some moves here with 4 laps left to go. He's going to need Blake Panel to have a wreck or an incident as Blake comes up behind his rival for this race, Jamie Fulcher there in the 13. Jamie's going to step out of the way on the high side and let him go by. All right, congratulations, Blake Panel. Tim Hall second, Jamie Fulcher third, Bones fourth. A good heat race for sure. All right, guys, up next will be Super Dirt Late Model. Blake Panel, Garrett Burden, Dave and Lee, Jamie Fulcher. While we're waiting on the, let's see here, Michael Howell. Let's see here, missed some of the text here. Race this past Saturday, finished 5th in WOMP and Asphalt Modified. How many total entries? Michael Howell, I'm track marshaling for the rest of the month. No money to race. I understand. Hey, just like I always say, Michael, everybody needs a good track marshal. And as you can see here, we're kind of a little bit down when it comes to track marshals. As we allow 4 racers on our track at once. We got a kind of a smaller width track here, but it's long. So you do more than 4, especially in some of the faster classes, it just gets really out of hand, even if you just do 5. So we like to keep it at 4. Keeps the racing pretty good, gives people enough room to pass each other. Most of the time it's only 2 wide when the passing's going on. Sometimes 3. Michael Hall says 7 entries. Well, hey, that ain't too bad. And right now we're just waiting on Blake, Garrett, Davin, and Jamie to get their cars set up. Now they just got out of a race, so might be just a minute or 2 for them to clean their tires and get them a new fresh battery in there. T, could you bring me a water, please? Thank you. Michael House says, I beat myself. Michael, it's funny, man. That is usually what happens every time. We end up getting in our heads a little bit and just over focusing a lot of the times, or break concentration for a split second, and you know it's all over. So it looks like the guys are good now. They're out of the pits. Let's head back over here to the world's track view. All right, guys are rolling up. 4 deep on this race. It's going to be a fast one here. Racers, are we ready? Listen for the tone. So he's going to have to turn his car on there. Jamie Fulcher with one of the faster cars here. Forgot to turn his car on, but now he's back in the business. Not too much of a loss there. We got 2 or 3 cars wadded up here in turn 1 and 2. Several cars. Hang on, baby. I got to watch this race, okay? Got to make sure they don't fly off the track and have to get red flag. They are supers, yeah. Right now, Blake Panel currently in the leads. We get 2 cars off on the back stretch here. And it looks like Garrett Burden and David Lee going to be up on there. I have no idea whose car that was that accidentally got red. Cloud matches top shown. Richard Carpenter Scale Nation RC. I'm just going to go ahead and Deegan is loving this race. As we got 2 guys hitting each other wide open. And we got Dave and Lee got his car in hand. I don't know what's going on with it. And these cars are just hitting the wall and flipping left and right. Garrett Burden in the lead, 27 laps. And we're going to see Jamie Fulcher grab his car and pull it too. With 2 other cars here. All right, congratulations, Garrett Burden. What another brutal race, to say the very least. The Super Dirt late model, definitely not for the faint of heart. Michael Howe is why so low, should have finished like 3rd or 4th. Yeah, we always like to finish up there in the podium for sure. All right, guys, up next will be Asphalt Late Model Heat 1 and 1, Jeff McMahon, Tim Hall. I'm doing all right. How y'all? What's that? I hadn't seen Glenn in a bit. Not this week. No, he's in between races. I don't know. I know he bought a new car. Well, that one got totaled by deer or something. With a deer. I mean, deers love him. Yeah. If he hits him in the head, it'd be good eating, I guess. Yeah. I don't think they're in Florida now. They went to Georgia, Florida, and Louisiana. I don't know exactly where they're at right now. South, huh? Peter Aubrey, what scale are these cars? They are 1/18th. They're called 1RC. All right. Guys, y'all ready? Listen for the tone. So, Tim Hall and Jeff McMahon here in the asphalt late model class here. And Jeff McMahon, of course, there with the Monkey Butt Incorporated car, which I really like it. Pretty cool little sticker on the front of the car. Tim Hall, nice and smooth with his car. I always like watching the cars from where I'm sitting, coming off of 3 and 4, how they can just dive bomb right down low and come off really hot with these cars. It looks cool. Looks like NASCAR. Jeff getting a little bit smoother with his monkey butt car this week. Michael Howell, my asphalt modified, I think needed either a gear change or a motor, which I'm going to hate paying for a motor. We use Hawk 25 in that class, I do believe. So what's a Hawk 25 going for these days, Michael? I think we use a 25 for our rental cars in that motor. We get our rental cars from JK. Tim Hall, 23 laps. Chet McMahon, 19, 3.560 for Tim Hall. About a second difference, averagely speaking, between the racers. As Tim gets his car spun around here. All right, congratulations, Tim Hall. 18, I think I would have asked again. Well, that ain't too bad. 18 bucks. Let's see here. Finish race. Guys, up next, Heat 1 of 2, Dirt Street Stock, Blake Pennell, Jeff McMahon, Bones. Michael Howe with a new motor, though, you could get a good one or a slow one. Yeah, so those FK motors like that, it's like that with every one of them. Uh, the brushes, they're so, I think they just make a big vat of brushes and then they cut them out. And who knows if you got one that's a good semiconductor or not. But yeah, you're right. And clearances on the way those motors are wrapped, too, make a big difference. I know a lot of guys, man, they try a lot of tricks to get any kind of speed they can out of them. People pinching motors, making the magnets close to them, changing the timing on them, completely separating the cans. There's actually a device called a guillotine that you can get for a couple $100 where you can take them apart. And it's just like, man, at that point, you're running it for everybody, in my opinion. Just leave those motors alone. They're not meant to be touched and rock and roll. We got some of our FK motors here. The biggest one we had issues with was the stomp motor, uh, and we ended up running resistance checks through the brushes to keep them legal. And that fixed everything. Everybody started running fair again. But that's slot car racing, and you know how it is. If you ain't trying, you ain't winning. Right now, we got Bones out there lined up, waiting on Jeff McMahon and Blake Pennell. Garrett, you not racing that? Oh, you're in the next heat. Yeah, you're in the next one. I forget we only run 3 or 4 cars. right, track marshals. RC Remedy. Hey, fellas. Hello, RC Remedy. Here we go, guys. Listen for the tone. And out front is Blake Pennell in the STP. Fall behind him is Brad Gregory, also known as Bones. A little bit loose in the rear end there is Monkey Butt Incorporated Jeff McMahon. As he gets hit by Brad Gregory there in turn 4, you got to keep an eye on Bones. Bones going to get to the lap. If he gets another one here, it'll be, yeah, he's going to have to get a lap deduction. There we go. So Brad's having some steering issues with his car. Looks like he might got her fixed now. The car slides out on the backstretch. All right, we're back. Headset died there. It is definitely a fine line when it comes to keeping these cars from pushing or being too loose. And, you know, these being 18th scale, oh, two-wheel peel there for Jeff McMahon. All right. Bones and Jeff McMahon getting involved a little bit there coming out of turn 4. Two more laps to go. Blake Pennell in the lead. Best time of 3.750 from Bones. All right, congratulations, Blake. Jeff second, Bones third. So they might need to loosen those up a little bit in the rear end so that they push a little bit more. They're a little bit slick coming out of the corners. All right, guys, up next, Dirt Street Stock Heat 2 of 2. Tim Hall, Garrett Burden, Jamie Fulcher. Here comes Garrett Burden getting his number 5 black and yellow street stock out there. Sounds funny. That thing sounds tight, Garrett. Jamie Fulcher, Tim Hall got their cars out there. All right, guys, we need some track marshals. All right, guys, listen for the tone. Jamie Fulcher spinning on takeoff. Tim Hall out to an early lead here, followed by Garrett Burden in the number 5 black and yellow car there. Tim Hall running about a tenth of a second faster than Garrett here. 3.760 is his fastest. Averagely speaking, they're within 0.2 of a second of each other. We see Jamie Fulcher, they're getting rear-ended by Tim Hall. Jamie Fulcher trying to figure something out here on that low side. We can see these cars here, they're actually hooking pretty good here. Pushing a little bit coming out of 4, but not bad. As they're able to hold that speed. Garrett Burden out in the lead. Tim Hall second. Jamie Fulcher third. And it looks like Garrett Burden there choosing the low side. Tim's going high. And this might be a change in leadership here as they race each other clean. Tim Hall now in the lead. And what I've seen just a while ago, whenever Garrett put his car down really, really tight, when he goes around the corner, you can hear his car just die down low. So we see Tim Hall's car flip there. We're going to see Blake Panel getting flipped back over. And Jamie Fulcher's car flip. And so we're going to see Jamie Fulcher get hit. Tim Hall hit him there on the front stretch. David Lee scaring Chrissy there. And now Garrett Burden out in the lead. Tim Hall right there behind him. And we're seeing Jamie Fulcher have some issues with the 13. Garrett Burden and Tim get into a little contact with one another. Oh, and we see a 360 spin here. Congratulations, Garrett. Tim Hall second. Jamie Fulcher third. And that's going to be it for the heats. Now we're going to jump into our main features here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just move Deegan on into the A for the standard. B mains 4. That's good. And yet again there, we're going to move Deegan on in to the A main. RC Remedy, love to have a go on a track like this. Hey, anytime you want to, man, give us a call. Come on down. Hang out with us. Yeah, we're going to take probably about a 5-6 minute break because we're going into the features now. You need a strong battery. It's anywhere from 30 to 50 laps. You got a couple duds over there? Well, now all of a sudden my battery's back to life. It's crazy. So let me go through here real quick and just make sure everything's on the up and up. A main, okay, B main here is Jamie, Bones, Jeff, and Deegan. Blake, David, and Tim. I think that is right. Garrett, Blake, Jamie, David. RC Remedy, a bit far from Australia. This is true. I would even say more. Well, it would be more than a road trip. It would be an airplane trip. I'd like to go to Australia. If I'm ever in Australia, I'll hit you up, RC Remedy, because I'll go to your local track. Uh, I'm gonna have to come into some really big money for that to take place, though. The big spiders, yeah, yeah. I think this is all right. A main, A main, A main. I think that's right. What's racing first is standard. Dirt late model standard A main. Uh, After that, hang on, let me just. It'd be beginner, dirt late model beginner, and then it'll be beginner B, beginner A, and then after that it'll be super late A, and then it'll be asphalt A, asphalt late model A. Then it'll be dirt street stock B, dirt street stock A. Got it? Okay. All right. Well, while we're waiting on the racers, RC Remedy says same, same. Yeah, I feel that. It is not cheap to fly anymore, nor is it easy to get a passport these days. Watch the guys there in the pit. Special thanks to our sponsor, Livermore Subway. right next door to us. They sponsor our Four Crowns here at Lanes Raceway and put $1,000 up for the guys and let them race it off at the end of the year. So we appreciate them for that. Plus, they got some really good sandwiches over there, and they keep a um, good stock of fresh ingredients, as you would see. And the big thing now that everybody's been wanting to do is the Doritos, Doritos nachos that they got there. Really good, $5 for a big old box of those. But I want to bring you guys to attention to a race coming up, 1RC race here at Rio Speedway. That's just right up the road from us, maybe about 30-minute drive from here. Rio's Raceway Hog Fest, May 30th. Doors open at 12. Racing starts at 6:30 p.m. And they're going to have a stock asphalt late model class, lipo class, stock late model, dirt late model, lipo late model, pro super mod, and lipo or kids class. Sorry, but that is Rio Raceway track in Hobby Shop in Rockport, Indiana. So look those guys up, give them a call, and then the owner is actually going to be cooking some Boston butts, I heard. So that'll be a pretty good little event for you guys to hit up. $20 for the first class, $10 for second. Each edition will be $5. We also have another big race coming up the 20th that's for slot car racing if you're a slot car racer. And that's going to be in Cleveland, Tennessee. So you see, what do you got next week after? For that, and that's going to be up there at the Raceway, is what it's called there in Cleveland, Tennessee, and it's like our Flexi Challenge class here that we mimicked off of Alan Ingram's Flexi Challenge. So they're going to kind of run that weekend, and we're hoping to try to maybe make it out there if we can, but we'll just have to wait and see how things go here. We're in the process of rebraiding our orange track here. I don't know if I got a picture of that or not. You can kind of see it there to the right of your screen. But this orange track's about 30 years old, and we're planning on rebraiding it all so we can be ready for our wing car series coming up next series. We want to rebraid it, repaint it, paint inside the slots, make it as smooth and as pristine as we possibly can, like a brand spanking new track. I'm going to be bondoing, actually shaving the hump out of the backstretch so that you can go wide open. Because right there on the last little hook up there, there's a bump in the track. We say don't forget to blip, but we're going to get that out of the track and start over fresh and new. I got the braid coming this week. It should be here Thursday or Friday. So next week, me and the wife, we're going to hit up Holiday World. And after we hit up Holiday World or Kings Island, whichever one she wants to go to. But once we get done getting back from a theme park, then it's all hands on deck with me and her. She's going to clean the oval track while me and Randy Kirtley go to try to get that track fixed. And we're going to throw a little bit of glue down on our freshly cleaned World's track from Giannis Nobbkins and get that set up. So we're super excited about it. Moving into the next series, and you guys know how we do. Each series we clean it unless the guys are in protest to it, and if they are, then we don't clean it. We might put a little more glue on it, but some guys like rubber laid down on the track. Some guys like a clean, beautiful track. It don't stay clean and beautiful long, but nonetheless, we like to keep the guys happy for sure. So if you like what you see here, or you like RC racing, you like drag racing slot cars and slot cars in general, even the occasional pinball action, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share, and get this out to all your friends. Plus, check out our Facebook page, Lanes Raceway's Facebook page, and our website, lanesraceway.com. Our Facebook page, a lot of the times you'll see these racers, what place they finish. We always post that. And right now we got some stuff up there for sale to make a little bit more room for some newer pinball machines. And also, just to have a little bit of extra cushion money when the tariffs come to hit. So we're trying to get all set up for that. We got some really good deals, actually. We've got a full motion simulator for sale with monitor, Sim Magic wheels, some Hussenfeld pedals, where we were going to get all that set up. But we ended up doing a flat track RC track here for the time being. And always come back to that at a later date. And then some of our older pinball machines, guys wanting to see some new pinball machines, but we're kind of limited on space now. So we need to get rid of some of the older ones just to get them out there. Looks like we got a little spam coming in from Twitch. We'll go ahead and block that. But yeah, we get some of those sold. I got my eyes on a few of the pinball machines. I just seen where Zach and them up in Evansville at Flipping Out Pinball made like a little teaser post for the upcoming Harry Potter pinball machine. It just shows the little snitch on the pull lever, and that's going to be a Jersey Jack pinball machine. And they announced it a couple months back at one of the big pinball meets, but they didn't give any pictures or nothing. It's the first pictures I've seen, so they're probably fixing to come out and actually have like a preview of what it's going to be like. It'll be very interesting to see what they're going to do with it. Probably the best pinball machine they've ever made was probably Pirates of the Caribbean with the moving ship and everything. But they're so collector's items for those Pirates of the Caribbean. You're looking at big bucks to get one of them. About cheapest you can get them is around 22,000 bucks. So they're really expensive. But when you get them new, they're not that expensive. Only in if they become cult classics, I guess you would say. Stern has a few of them like that too. So the Elvira House of Horrors is never cheap. Trying to think, a couple other ones like Godzilla. Up until they come out with the new release premium model, Godzilla's wasn't cheap. Also the same way with Stranger Things. The same way they wasn't very cheap either. Uh, Ghostbusters. It's one of the Spike One machines that they haven't updated yet, but I feel in the future they're going to update that one. They call that the big ball drainer, but Zombie Yeti, of course, making the art for the Ghostbusters pinball machine. It just really does give you some nostalgia for sure. First up will be Dirt Late Model Standard. But yeah, big fan of Keith Elwin games. Trying to collect them. I got Jurassic Park, Iron Maiden, and Godzilla right now. But I would like to have the new King Kong. I heard some people like it. Some people kind of on the fence about it with the gong and all that. But I don't know. I'm still holding out for Back to the Future, and uh, there's another one too that I heard that they were probably going to end up coming up with. Whether or not they have the IPs for them, I'm not for sure. Now, John Wick was kind of a surprise, but that was, I think it could have been done a little bit better. It didn't get done as good as I would have liked it, but anyway, Jeff McMahon, who's right here to my right, says, "What's up, everybody? You are missing a lot of good racing tonight." They are missing a lot of good racing, ain't they, Jeff? Well, Jeff, that's a funny thing. We don't have a whole lot of Livermore racers. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the weather's nice. Yeah, Jason. Yeah. Yeah. Rio. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got a big race coming up, Jeff. The 30th. Did you know about that? They got a big race called Hogfest, the 30th. Hogfest, yeah. Yeah, you're going to be there, ain't you? I don't know if there is a payout, but it's just going to be a big race. He's going to be cooking out Boston Butt. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an event. Doors open at 12. Racing starts at 6:30. So it's stock asphalt late model, lipo asphalt late model, stock dirt late model, lipo late model, pro super mod, and a kids class. First class 20, second class 10, each additional 5. Yeah, you do. You got a dirt late model. No, they don't have street stock on here. They run asphalt late model. Yeah. Yep. Asphalt late model stock and lipo. So yeah, you got 2 classes, maybe 4 classes if you put a lipo in it. You don't like the lipo, Jeff? Yeah. Well, they are fast. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of people don't know how to charge them. They try to overcharge them. You can't do that. I guess you can if you force it. Yeah, you can jam it. It could. You know, DC likes to go one way and don't like to go the other. uh, all right, guys, we ready? All right, first up will be Dirt Late Model Standard, Tim Hall, Garrett Burden, Blake Panel, Deegan Lee. This is A Main. Peter Aubrey, what is dark stuff on the track? Some kind of stickum? So that's my attempt of making a cushion. It's supposed to look like a dirt track. The color is actually color matched to a sky view of Eldora, but of course this is not a scale Eldora for no reason. But we're running the dirt cars for the most part from 1RC on this track. So instead of making it asphalt, I made it look like dirt. It's supposed to look like the cushion. So Tim Hall, he's ready. Waiting on Garrett, Blake, and Deegan Lee. And also tonight, in addition to the big box stickers you get, these guys are going to get little bitty tiny stickers to put on their cars showing that they won the A or B main. And that's a special thanks to Jamie Fulcher over there at Sign Pros. We do appreciate him, and he didn't even ask for anything in return. And I tried to give him something, but he's just too modest and too good of a guy. He says, you know what? It's free. I said, awesome. Thank you. All right, we got one more caller here, and that's going to be Deegan Lee. What's that? Tell you we need a track marshal. T's coming around to help track marshal. Tell you we need a track marshal, honey. All right, guys, let's for the tone. 50 laps. And here we go. Car not turned on, it looks like. All right, Tim Hall out in the lead. Garrett Bird in there in second. And Deegan Lee giving a little kickback there on Blake Panel. We see David Lee putting Deegan back over. Garrett Burden currently in the lead as we see Blake Panel get hit twice on the front stretch. Oh, and Garrett Burden catching the edge there from Deegan Lee. Now puts Tim Hall in the lead. Deegan Lee and Tim Hall there, a little bit of roughhousing. Oh, and a very, very, very close. Whew, sweet mercy, that was close in the turn four between Blake Panel and Deegan Lee. Deegan Lee coming down on Tim Hall pretty hard, gets him into the fencing. And Tim Hall there, no breakout needed. And a hard hit here. Tim got the lap. Good. And Garrett Bird in there in the lead. 27 laps remaining. Best lap turn, Garrett Burden, a 3.460. He's about half a tenth of a second in front of everybody else. As we see Deegan there, incident. Oh, and Garrett Burden's car getting hit. Lots of wrecks. Red flag. So we had a red flag incident because a battery come out of Garrett Burton's car. Go. Everybody back up a little bit. Give each other room. Right now we got Garrett Burton and Tim Hall on each other's heels here, back and forth. So we see Deegan there. Oh, clips Tim Hall there on the backstretch as Blake Panel hits Tim Hall. And Garrett Burton flipped off on the backstretch here. Tim Hall and Garrett Burton there side by side. We might see a change here. Oh, I didn't know my stuff just bowed out. Hang on one sec, folks. There we go. Garrett Burton still in the lead. Tim Hall there in second. And we got Deegan Lee there, his car getting a little sideways there on the backstretch. And we see Garrett Burton's car flipped on the front stretch here. Blake Panel now moving into second position. It's a close race between Blake, Tim, and Garrett. Red flag.
I knew someday I would hit it, and I did.
Got what? Oh, really?
I went scooting over there to get a car. Oh, just make sure it don't go flat.
All right, listen for the tone. See Blake Panel getting into Deegan a little bit there. Blake and Garrett Burton and Tim Hall, all three. Blake Panel now currently in the lead, 45 laps. Garrett 45. Tim Hall now hitting 45. 4 laps to go. A very tight race in the top three here. And Tim Hall there having an incident. Deegan Lee. All right, congratulations, Blake Panel. Garrett Burton second. Tim Hall third. Deegan Lee fourth. Come down to the wire, fellas. Get your pictures. A lot of wrecking there in the standard class. It happens sometimes. Fastest lap time, believe it or not, was turned by Deegan Lee at 3.090. And T's going to go get some pictures made. And we're going to move into our B main for the dirt late model beginner class. Deegan turned the fastest lap time at 3.090. Mm-hmm. Well, he'll be all right. He just got to get a little bit more practice. His car's fast enough, that's for sure. T, make sure Blake gets a big sticker and a little one. All right, guys, up next, dirt late model beginner, Jamie Fulcher, Bones, Jeff McMahon, Deegan Lee. This is the B main. We see Bones got his ride up there. We see Jeff McMahon coming into the picture here. Looks like we got Deegan out here and Jamie Fulcher now. Guys, make sure your cars are turned on. I've seen 3 cars tonight with no car turned on. So I'll just tell you before we start. 25 laps, one's getting bumped into the A main, guys. Y'all ready? Listen for the tone. Oh, we see Jeff McMahon getting involved with Jamie Fulcher. Wrecks him, then turns him back over. What a friendly thing to do. Out into an early lead here is Bones in the yellow and blue 45 car as he goes on the high outside of Monkey Butt Incorporated, Jeff McMahon. Now right behind him is Jamie Fulcher. Jamie Fulcher gets his chain pulled again by Jeff McMahon, but he was able to make the pass. And we see Deegan Lee there. He's coming up. And we see Bones flipped here. Got to keep an eye on Bones. He's going to break out once. And he's clear. And Deegan Lee here. He's back up on his side here. Jamie Fulcher now currently in the lead with the number 13 car. Right behind him is Bones for first and second. Deegan's car getting turned over. Jeff McMahon and Bones side by side. They've been roughhousing each other in this main feature here. Bones now back in the lead. 14 total laps, followed by Jamie Fulcher in the 13 as Jamie finds a way through turn 1 and 2 between Deegan and Jeff McMahon. Bones is holding that low side there, running a nice clean one as he comes back up on his arch nemesis here, Jeff McMahon. Jeff McMahon gives him a little love tap, but nothing happens. And he's able to make it through here, running the high side. Now diving back low. Jamie Fulcher coming up on his backside, though, as him and Jamie both get in an incident and hit Deegan Lee. I got him straightened back out here. Deegan's going to be out in front here as he dive bombs low. And he gets touched a little bit by Bones. Now Bones currently in second position. Jamie Fulcher in first. 3 laps to go. 3.8 is Jamie Fulcher with the fast time. And this might be a change in leadership. Bones now taking over the lead with 1 lap to go. And Bones is going to bring it home. Congratulations, Bones. Close race between Bones and Jamie Fulcher. Bones, make sure you get both your stickers from TB Main. Go ahead and finish the bump here. Next up, guys, is going to be Blake Pennell, David Lee, Tim Hall, and Bones for the Dirt Late Model Beginner A Main. So Bones is going to put his little tiny sticker there on his car, showing that he won a B main with that car. We'll see if he can come back in here and give these guys a run for their money. A little bit of time there, for sure. We'll go over here into the pits. You see Bone in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. See David Lee getting his stuff set up there in the gray shirt. Jeff McMahon there in the black shirt, and there comes Blake Pennell. We'll probably need a track marshal. What's that? If y'all want to, we can. He's going to come help track marshal. Bones is coming in now, fresh off of a win there in the B main. All right, guys, listen for the tone. And out to another lead is Blake Pennell. And in second position, David Lee. Now giving up that position to Tim Hall. Oh, and Bones gets into David Lee coming in turn 4. Out front, Blake Panel, as we see the car 19 of Tim Hall getting those nice momentum exchanges through the turns, as him and Blake getting a little bit of contact there. Was able to get her turned around. Tell you, you're going to have to get those cars when they wreck. So Dave and Lee having battery trouble again with his car. He got a bunch of batteries offline from some cars, and a bunch of them are not doing too good. Blake Panel out in the lead by a lap. Bones there in second. Tim Hall third. David Lee maybe trying to do a quick exchange for a battery. Try to get back in the race. Lining up close, 3 wide as we see Bones dive low, come back up on turn 4. And we see a little bit of contact coming into turn 3 with Blake and Tim. Tim now stretching his wings a little bit here, getting a little bit of smooth rotation in between the corners. Blake Panel 23 laps, Bones 22, Tim 22. Halfway mark right now. It looks like David Lee is going to retire his car. Everybody running quite smooth right now. Blake Panel with the fastest lap time of 3.960, tied up with Tim Hall with a 3.960. We see Tim and Bones side by side. We are now going to see Tim in second position after that pass. Tim Hall currently 2 laps down from Blake Panel. Blake's going to need to have a wreck if Tim stands a chance of making the pass. Bones having a little bit of a spin out there on the front stretch. Ten laps to go in this A-Main beginner dirt feature. Bones going to the high side there. Everybody running consistently speaking on average 4.146 for Blake, a 4.289 for Tim, a 4.467 for Bones. And it looks like Blake Panel is going to bring this one home. All right, congratulations, Blake. Tim Hall second, Bones third. So they're going to go get their pictures. Then next up will be our Super Dirt Late Model A-Main. It'll be Garrett Burden, Blake Panel, Jamie Fulcher, and David Lee. Guys, I am sorry. I forgot to put the camera back over on the track. That's my fault. I got involved watching it over here. Sorry about that. Nonetheless, it was a really, really clean race. T, I need you to answer this phone. T. Talk to Matthew. See Jamie Fulcher getting his car over there. Looks like he's ready to go. So Blake, are you putting those stickers on your car? Oh. Well, you didn't win it with the new body. He don't see it right, does he, Garrett? Well, I mean, if you ever went to go sell that car, it's an older car. You got all those stickers on it. People are like, man, that thing wins races. Well, it does take a beating, too. All right, can we get some track marshals? Down to 2. All right. Guys, 50 lap super dirt late model. Here we go. We see Garrett Burton's car get tossed. Oh, good handstand. David Lee there getting spun in 3 and 4. Garrett Burton hits him. Super dirt late model, definitely a tough class to say the very least. Well, it looks like Garrett was pinpointing on old David Lee there, but red. No, its switch got knocked. It'll switch them. And here we go, back racing again. Bones is saying that maybe David Lee's car has got a shock broke. This is a very brutal class, to say the very least. Red flag. Everybody trying to hold the trigger wide open is causing a lot of troubles with these cars. You can be a lot faster if you just let off, make the corner, and then come out and hit the gas. But I guess the nerves make people do what they got to do. Oh, you see Jamie Fulcher there moving into second position now. Oh, David Lee getting hit again. Garrett's going to help David Lee get his car back, and then Garrett's going to get hit again and get flipped. Jamie Fulcher in the lead, 28 laps. Jamie Fulcher and Blake Panel side by side, roughhousing. 20 laps remaining. Blake Panel currently in the lead. Blake Panel and Jamie, neither one giving an inch. Very, very rough racing here, to say the least. I guess David Lee's having some troubles there with his car. And Garrett Burton hits Jamie Fulcher wide open, turns around and hits him again. Jamie's car flipped now. Oh, and Garrett Burden slams the wall on the backstretch. 5 laps to go. Blake Panel in the lead. Garrett Burden second. Jamie Fulcher third. All right, congratulations, Blake Panel. Garrett Burden second. Jamie Fulcher third. Elizabeth Jane McMahon replying to Jeff McMahon. I see it now. It's live stream. It's rough. Up next is going to be Asphalt Late Model A Main. Tim Hall, Jeff McMahon. Bones, you think that class would be better if people would lift instead of trying to hold it wide open?
Maybe just a little bit. They probably lift if you take that outside wall out.
Oh, I guarantee they would. Or they go flying in my drywall. I know you caught it like a catcher, didn't you? Here comes Jeff McMahon getting the Monkey Butt Incorporated Asphalt Late Model. Can we get one track marshal, please? All right, guys, listen for the tone. And Jeff McMahon, car ain't turned on. He is now. And here we go. Tim Hall there, extremely smooth with this car as he comes out of turn 4 and just bumps the high side there. Jeff with Monkey Butt Incorporated going to the high side. Right now, 3.520 for Tim Hall fastest, 4.40 for Jeff McMahon fastest. So get a little bit of a draft coming around the front stretch there. Their average of 4.280 for Tim and an average of a 5.046, about 5/10 of a second differentiating between these two racers. Pretty much in different classes here, but both of them wanting to get a little bit extra practice time with these asphalt late models here. And as you can see, they handle pretty good here on the track. Almost halfway through here as Tim Hall goes to try to make the pass there on Jeff McMahon. Jeff McMahon holding that bottom side down. But both of these racers racing each other extremely clean. And if you're wondering why we would even run a race, if we have 2 or more, it is a race, and we will run it here for you if you want to race. As long as it's one RC, we run one RC here. That's what we run. We got transponders for rent. I think it's either $2 or $3. per night to rent one, or you can purchase one for 40. Tim Hall is definitely smooth tonight with his car. I like to have seen him and Jeff race. Jeff brought one in a couple weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and he was racing. He ended up bringing home a win. You can check it back on our Facebook page, but he was really smooth with this car class too. And that's Jeff Bryant, not Jeff McMahon, by the way. Sorry, guys. I forget we got multiple Jeffs. One lap to go. Looks like Tim Hall's going to bring it home. Congratulations, Tim Hall. Jeff McMahon, second. And a wreck right at the end. These guys raced clean the whole time other than that last lap. When Jeff and Tim get back from their pictures, next up will be Dirt Street Stock B Main. Jeff McMahon, Bones, Jamie Fulcher. Jeff, don't forget to get your picture. The Dirt Street Stock is the class here at Lanes Raceway that we will be running in our next upcoming series here in 2 weeks. If you're interested in getting in it, all you need is a Dirt Street Stock and a transponder and a will and a want to get first place. So right now we are waiting on Jeff McMahon to get his Dirt Street Stock. Guys are wanting to possibly do some flat track after this. We got it set up for figure eight right now. Saturday, though, it will be back to its original oval shape. And we'll be racing oval then. Jeff McMahon, Bones, and Jamie Fulcher. Excuse me. Here comes Jeff McMahon as we get ready to run this B main feature Dirt Street Stock. Fire department's supposed to come and mess with that the next day or so. No, they're going to use it for training. Okay. Well, we'll get one later, I guess. Is he off phone now? Okay. Did he get that video, though? All right, guys, listen for the tone. There we go. Jeff McMahon spinning out of turn 4 there. So we see David Lee helping him out. Bones going backwards on the track. Oh, no. Garrett Burton getting him turned around there. Right now, Jamie Fulcher currently in the lead there with the 13 Black Nose car there as Bones gets his car turned back around. One car getting bumped into the A main here. All the rest are going to be going home into the trailer. This is our last series for the night on the live stream. Oh, side by side as Bones and Jeff McMahon get into a little contact action. Of course, it's going to red out Bones there as he breaks out, registering twice under the light. And we see Jamie Fulcher there now with a 2-lap lead on the guys. But Jeff McMahon in second with 12. Bones with 11 in third. Bones gets hit again. Got to keep an eye on that as he breaks out a lap. And he's going to get a lap there. We're going to have to deduct him a lap here. Let's see, Bones on the high outside as Jamie Fulcher gets into him like a rock there. Jamie Fulcher coming up on Monkey Butt Incorporated, Jeff McMahon. And we got Bones with the lap. Will it break him out? All right, congratulations, Jamie Fulcher. You're moving on. What? Yeah, it'll work. You did send it? Just click it. It's saved. Just click it and then select it off the phone. All right, A main action, dirt street stock. Garrett Burden. All right, headset died again. It's got 3 of the 4 out here. Jamie Fulcher going to try to get a battery in play here. Jamie got bumped up from the B main. What'd you say, Tim? T. T, need a track marshal, please. That will never exist, Jamie, unless you create it for yourself. All right, guys, 50 lap A main. Everybody make sure your cars are turned on. Listen for the tone. And Jamie Fulcher's car spinning out there. He's now got her under control, and it looks like Blake Panel spun out on the backstretch there. As he's having issues there on the backstretch, Blake is. Right now, Garrett Burden in the lead, followed by Tim Hall. Both of these guys side by side as they come into contact with each other. And Bones is going to get Garrett, and Tim's going to get his own car flipped around. About 3 car lengths difference between the black number 5 and the green number 19. Tim Hall, as they come into contact here, woo, very close. Tim Hall now in the lead with 8 laps. Jamie Fulcher in second and Garrett Burden in third. Ooh, a little bit of a touch there. Oh, it's Tim Hall wrecks, and Garrett straightens him out. Oh, a little side-by-side slide action there. Garrett can't get off the bottom. This is one of the trade-off, guys. If you were wondering, you run those 12-tooth pinions. One of the trade-offs is you can't climb up the steep grade. Not enough power. Blake Panel flipping here, just making sure he got a breakout, and he did. As Blake wrecks again. And I don't think it gave Blake one. Garrett and Jamie both broke out. And 25 laps to go. Tim Hall in the lead. Jamie Fulcher 4 laps down from Tim. And Blake flipped on his lid in the backstretch there. And Garrett hits Blake. Everybody's hitting Blake. Jamie Fulcher trying to dodge Blake. So's the rest of the crowd. Blake's car is not handling the way he wants it to this week. Jamie Fulcher there in second position. Tim Hall running quite smooth. T's doing her best. There we go. And Jamie Fulcher's car flipped on the backstretch. Tim Hall currently 4 laps ahead of the rest of the guys as he's been dodging these wrecks pretty good. Blake Panel underneath the start line there. He's going to get that lap there. And Garrett Burden spinning out. And we see Blake Panel with a lap. He's going to get spun back around. Tim Hall and Garrett Burden side by side. Tim has been practicing with his car quite a bit, getting it just right for the track, and it's paying off right now. See, ooh, he is making some good moves there. Him and Jamie kind of matching step for step. Jamie kind of come down on him a little bit and got spun. Tim with the brakes, too. He is in the zone on this race, and Tim's going to bring it home. Congratulations, Tim. Second place, Jamie Fulcher. Garrett Burden, third position. What a race, guys. What a race. Tim Hall super smooth in that race there. 3.72 fastest. Blake Panel with the fastest lap time of 3.64. But just because you're the fastest doesn't always mean you're going to come out on top. All right, guys. Special thanks to Livermore Subway, our sponsor here at Lanes Raceway. They sponsor $1,000 for the 4 Crowns, and they're going to be sponsoring our banquet coming up this Saturday. So if you're a racer and you've raced in the series, or if you're a family member of a racer, come on, check it out down here. We're going to have a little platter here of Subway sandwiches and some cookies and stuff. We're going to do a little pinball action, playing around. We're going to have a scheduled circle track, flat track race for the RC racers. They want that. Other than that, just come on in. We're going to have a good time that day. And, of course, the parts counter and stuff will be open, snacks counter and stuff. But we're just going to have a good old time like we usually do. I know the banquet's not on Sunday this time. It's actually on Saturday. But, nonetheless, it should be a pretty good time. Don't forget the upcoming races, the Hog Fest up there at Rio. Take a look at that, Rio Speedway. And the Raceway in Cleveland, Tennessee, the 20th. Check them out there. They're going to be having a big race for Flexi slot car action. Other than that, guys, if y'all need to contact me, you can contact me Facebook. Our telephone number 270-278-1400 here at Lanes Raceway. it's attached to my phone through Defense 7, and everything. I'll get it even when I'm at home. So if you guys need me to run down here, I live a couple football fields away from here. Even on my days off, as they're called, if you guys need something, you call me. I'll come down here and help you out with whatever you need. Um, Trying to think. Just getting ready. 2 weeks until we're into a new series. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless you. And we'll see you here next week. Same time, same place. Well, no, actually won't. Next week I will be off. So we'll see you the week after that. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in. God bless you, and we'll see you later.